So, good morning. Sunday morning. It's about 5:30. Back on Redhouse. Beautiful morning again. It's a bit cloudy and overcast today. Which is not a bad thing, I don't think. Due a bit of rain later as well. There's a few on the lake, but I can see my swims over the swims that I've been fishing. I'm pretty much free, so I'm just going to wander around there, make sure there's nobody in there, and then I'm going to drive down to the other end of the lake, park my car up, get my gear out, and get to the swim. But yeah, what a beautiful morning. Love this time of year. Still nice and fresh in the morning, but you know it's just going to turn out nice and warm later. But like I said, it's going to be supposed to be quite overcast today, and there's going to be a bit of rain later, so it's a bit of a bonus really. Sort of conditions we want when we're fishing. Yeah, it's nice to sit about in the warm sunshine, but can get a bit much sometimes. So I'm just going to take a wander around to the swims. See if I can see any fish on the way. So the barrow's up there now. Let's get the barrow unloaded. Get the rods out. So obviously I'm back in this swim again, so I'm going to have to be in and out of the water. So there's a bit of an algae bloom on, which is not too good really. But like I say, hopefully today's just going to be nice and overcast. I don't think it's going to be, we might get a little bit of broken sunshine through the clouds. But yeah, I think it is going to rain, it's supposed to rain a little bit later. So today I've bought the Tempest for this session. I'm only going to be here just for today, and I'll probably be going quite early in the morning. I say quite early, probably pack up about 10, get home, back in work on Tuesday. So hopefully we'll have a fish on this session. So let's get the bower unloaded, get set up. So I'll just do a quick review on the equipment that I'm using to do these vlogs with. Currently I'm filming on a Huawei Mate 20 Pro, which is basically a mobile phone, but it's a very photography orientated mobile phone. So it's basically got three lens 45 megapixel camera on it. The three lenses are like a wide angle lens, it's got a normal lens, and it's got a zoom lens. And I've just had a bleep on my left hand rod. So yeah, I was using my DSLR camera on the last vlog I did. It's just a Nikon D5300. But with that you have issues with the autofocus, because if you leave the autofocus on, it autofocuses all the while, it's just constantly focusing, and you can actually hear that on the film itself. So when you play it back you can hear just the motor on the lens going in and out, and it doesn't sound very good. So what I've done, I've decided to go on with this mobile phone, which is basically a lot better than the D5300 anyway. This has got 4K recorded, which I'm recording on at the moment. Coupled with that, I'm using the DJI Osmo Mobile 2 gimbal, which is basically you can control you on and off with your recording, and basically when you've got it on the gimbal you can move the gimbal around and it keeps it nice and steady, because at the moment I'm holding it in just my hand and it can get a bit wobbly. So coupled with the gimbal, and that's a lot easier to use as well, because you can record yourself, basically selfie, and also makes it a bit more cinematic. So I'll put it on the gimbal now and I'll explain what else I'm using. So I've got the phone on the gimbal now, which is pretty good, which means I can move it now from side to side, up and down, and basically that just keeps the phone nice and steady, so I can just move the gimbal around and hold it in my hand, and there's no shakiness either. I can also zoom in and out with it if I want to. Just makes it a lot easier, makes the camera a lot steadier as well. So for the drone footage, I'm using a DJI Mavic Air. Pretty good. They are apparently banned on here at the moment because there was a theft from the containers on site here. Somebody had got in and stole all the workman's tools and everything out of the container, and apparently there was a drone seen flying over a couple of days before, so they're obviously thinking that somebody was sussing the place out with a drone. But I did ask the bailiff if I could use my drone, and he said he'll get back to me, but I'm not using it for any criminal activity. I'm just using it for doing this with. So that's it, the DJI Mavic Air drone. I'm also using Polar Pro filters on it as well, so that's an ND filter and also a polarizing filter as well. ND filters, I'll just use them because to get a nice cinematic effect with the drone, you need to adjust shutter speed and frames per second, so I won't go into that, but that's what I'm using for my aerial footage, the DJI Mavic Air. For the photographs, for the time lapses, I can do time lapses on this phone if I want to, but for the photographs and the time lapses I'm using my Nikon D850. Now this camera is the mutt's nuts basically. It's probably the best DSLR camera you can buy. I'm very much into my photography, so it's not only used for fishing. I do a lot of street photography, I do a lot of landscape photography as well. So this is a bit of a tool really. I mean, I'm not professional by a long shot, just an amateur. I'd like to be a professional photographer. But yeah, I've got, with this camera I've got coupled the it's got a Tamron 24x70 lens on it. I've also got a Tamron 17 to 24mm lens, and I've got a Tamron 70 to 300mm lens, so I've got a good scope of lenses. I also use polarizing filters on these. So on here at the moment I've got a Hoya. That's a Go polarizing filter on that. It's basically the polarizing filter. It makes the colours a lot more vivid. So especially in the bright sunlight, it really makes the colours really nice. And also obviously it's the same as polarizing glasses, it takes the glare off the water, so if I'm doing photography like water shots or anything, it does take a bit of the glare off the water. So that's the D850. So I'll just go through some of the other equipment that I use in my photography. Various filters. So this one is what's known as a graduated filter. So if you look at that, it's like dark on the top, and then it gradually gets lighter until it's clear at the bottom. This is the Koken Z series ones, and basically that goes on the in front of the lens on the camera. So if you can see on there, I've got like a special holder on the front of the camera, and it's got slots in it, as you can see there. And what that does, that slides in there like so. And the reason we use the graduated filter is so if I'm taking a picture of the sky, or if I'm taking a landscape picture, for instance, and the sky is really bright, what can happen, it can overexpose the sky and it can look a bit blown out, and you won't see any definition in the clouds or anything. So you'll see like the lake will be nice and dark, or the landscape that you're taking the picture will be nicely exposed, but the sky will be slightly overexposed, and it looks a bit rubbish. So basically you put this in front of you on your lens, and then you look through your screen at the back, and then you push this down like so. If I can get it to go down, that's because the peg's sticking out. And then you push it down until it's on the line of the horizon, so the sky at the top is nice and dark, and then obviously you've got the clear back underneath just to expose the rest of the landscape properly. Behind that is a polarizer. So on here this is a polarizing filter on here. We use the polarizing filter obviously to take the glare off the water, and it also makes the colours a lot more vivid as well. So yeah, so that's the Koken Z series system I use. It's not the most expensive system you can buy, but still a good system. I've also got some Lee neutral density filters. So basically this is what's known as a Lee 10-stop filter. That's a glass filter, and as you can see, you can't see anything through that. So it basically blocks out a lot of light, well, most light you can't see. If you put it up to your face, you can't see any light through that. And I use them for like long exposure photographs. So if I wanted to take a long exposure picture of, say, the clouds, and have the clouds so it looks like the clouds are moving really slowly, it'll do that, and also it smooths water out as well. So I'm not going to start going into too deep into it because it can get a bit confusing, but they're the main filters that I use. It's just the neutral density ones and the graduated filters. I've also got for night photography, I've also got a Rhino beam which will attach to the top of the camera on the hot shoe, so it'll light up the area that you're taking the picture of the fish. Pretty handy. It takes just 4 AA batteries. I think they're about 20 quid you can buy them for, but they're really bright. You can adjust the brightness as well. You've got adjustment on it. So, and I've also got a standalone flash speed light that goes on top of the camera. It's also always good to use a flash. This one's pretty good because it does a lot of calculations of the light around you, and it also senses what settings your camera's on, so your what aperture you're on, what your ISO is, and everything. And it's also good to have a flash on in the daytime as well, because you sometimes get a lot of shadows when you're taking pictures, and the flash will just take the shadows away. So in here I've got my Tamron 17 by 35mm lens. So that's a wide angle lens, that one. And in here I've got a 70 to 300 Tamron lens. This one, so that's quite a long lens, this one. Let me wind it out. So that's quite a long lens, that one. 70 to 300mm. So it's a zoom lens, that one. And then, like I said, on the camera itself, At the moment I've got a 24 to 70, the Tamron SP 24 to 70 f2.8, which is a good all-round lens, to be honest. I take a lot of pictures with that lens. So yeah, that's my photography equipment. For the drone, I've obviously got the drone handset that comes with it. So that's the DJI one. And I've just got like a tablet holder fitted to it. So I can use my tablet rather than a mobile phone because, well, just the screen on the tablet's a bit bigger, so it's a lot easier to see what you're doing. So if you're interested in photography, I've got an Instagram account. It's at Mark Hunter Photographer. Check it out. I'll put the link on the bottom of the screen now. Check it out and give us a follow. And again, like I said earlier, if you like my channel, my YouTube videos, give us a like and subscribe. So what I'll do, another time I'll go through and I'll give you some more hints and tips on how to set your camera up when you want to take a self-take, and a few other things that'll be handy to know when you're doing your photography for your self-takes, or just photography in general really. So I hope that was interesting, and hopefully I'll get to use my camera on this session to take some pictures of some fish. So it's 20 past 8 in the evening now, Sunday evening. Not really a lot happened, to be honest, but I have seen a couple of fish show just over halfway, just over the back of my spots. Just the back's breaking the surface really, nothing, not boshing out. But I'm still confident. Probably the most confident I've been since I started fishing Redhouse, to be honest. Conditions are pretty bang on. It pissed it down with rain earlier for about an hour, so everywhere's now wet and muddy and damp. But it looks like we might get a pretty nice sunset tonight. I don't think I'm going to do a time lapse. I'll just get some pictures if there's some nice colour in the sky. And if I get a fish later, then I'll get some video and some pictures. If not, I'll give you another update in the morning. I'm pretty tired tonight. I haven't had a lot of sleep this week, being on nights. I usually get about 4.5 hours sleep between night shifts. And then I was up really early this morning to get here for 5, 6. So it shouldn't be too long before I'm getting into my bag, I think. So yeah, if I have a fish, I'll update later. If not, I'll update in the morning. Well, another quiet night. Not a single bleep. I woke up about 2 o'clock, half 2. Sat and watched the water for a little while. Not a sound, no movement, nothing. I didn't hear anybody else have anything either last night, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just wondering whether this algae's really knocking him a bit, to be honest, because it's quite bad now. Everything's damp from the rain yesterday, so the sun's coming up behind me, so that should dry my bivvy out pretty quick. Get everything dried out. I shan't be hanging about for too long today. So it's looking like another blank, to be honest. Like I said yesterday, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I'm confident in my rigs. The bait I'm using's good. I know I keep changing my baiting strategies, but I've got to keep trying. I've got to keep trying different things. I've seen fish up this end of the lake before, so I know they get up here. They're obviously just not getting on that spot. And that'll be it for now for certainly next weekend. I won't be here. I should imagine, I say hopefully, I just imagine they'll be spawning soon. They get that out of the way. So I'm just going to put the kettle on, have a coffee, and assess the situation. So, it's looking like another blank, I'm afraid. So, no fish for the for this vlog either. But there you go, just fishing for you. Still enjoyed myself, still enjoyed being here. You know, it's all about the outdoors as well. Haven't seen anyone since I got here yesterday, which is good. Which is what I like, apart from the guys on the other side of the bank, but I haven't actually spoken to anyone. So yeah, that's looking like it's going to have to wait again till next time, to be honest. I won't be here next weekend, simply because when I'm off at the weekends from work, I like to spend time with the missus. You know, I spend a lot of time fishing in the week, so when I'm off, so it's only fair to spend time with the missus when I get my time off at the weekends. Plus I've got a few jobs to do around the house and what have you, so yeah, another blank. But that's part of the challenge, isn't it? You know, if I was to go and catch loads of fish, I'd go to somewhere like Drayton Reservoir or somewhere like that where, you know, you can put a piece of shit on a hook and catch. You know, I don't want that. I've been fishing a long time. I've been fishing for over 40 years. You know, I've been carp fishing since I was 15, so 34 years I've been carp fishing. You know, and I don't want to catch pasties. You know, I don't want to go somewhere you just catching pasties all the while. small fish. You know, I want to target fish. You know, and I come to a lake like this, which, you know, is 22 acres, rumoured to have 60 fish in it, but has it got 60 fish in it? You know, the otters have been getting in here. You know, I've seen fish come out and I've seen fish in here, but how many are there in here? You don't see a lot. So that's the challenge. You know, I like the challenge of that. You know, I fish all year round. I fish through the winter. 12 months a year. I do an average of 1 night a week, sometimes 2. You know, and I have the odd session where I go Bluebell Lakes or wherever and, you know, bag a few fish. Went to Lynch Hill last month with my lad for a week. Had a couple of nice fish. Had a 23-pound common and a 34-pound mirror. I'll put the pictures on here now. So yeah, you know, that's good to go. I can go somewhere like that and I can catch fish. You know, nice fish. I'd have been a bit gutted if I'd have come here on my first session and caught the big common. Yeah, that's nice, but I'd have been a bit gutted because, you know, the challenge would have been gone then. You know, and all these big top anglers, they make it look easy. You know, they're hauling all these big fish, but you know, you don't know what goes behind their sessions. You don't know who's baiting up for them and what have you, how long they're actually there. You know, that makes it look as if they're only there for a couple of days, but you know, how long have they been there? So, you know, these vlogs, I'm just trying to make it real. You know, people don't catch every time, and this is what it's like for probably 80-90% of the people who go carp fishing nowadays. You know, this is what it's like. But I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy being outside. I enjoy all my gear I've got. You know, and it costs us a lot of money to come fishing. You know, so you got to enjoy it. I know at the end of the day we're here to catch fish, but it doesn't happen all the while. So I hope you find these vlogs interesting. You know, I'll carry on plugging away. You know, and hopefully when I get a fish it'll be a bit exciting, which I think it will if I get a fish out here. So keep watching, follow my journey. Like I say, I'm just trying to keep it real. If you like what you see, then just like the videos, subscribe to my channel, and there's a couple of other videos on there that I've done previously. So yeah, if I don't have a fish now, I mean, I'm now going to start packing up, have a slow pack down, so if I don't have a fish from now until I go home, this will be my last item for this vlog. And yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and when I do upload another one, you'll be notified of it. So, till next time.